Join our psychedelic smoke sesh as we explore exciting new dimensions of existence, thought, and possibility.
We'll take you out of this world and blaze through infinite realms, while occasionally forgetting what we were saying.
This is Higher Consciousness. Welcome to Higher Consciousness, Season 3. This is a very first video that we're shooting with a guest. I don't know when this is going to air, so we'll see what video this is by the time that it comes out. So we're really excited for this season, and we're really excited to have this video going. I know, right?
I'm so excited. I'm like bouncing.
So we're reporting to you live from our Higher Consciousness headquarters. So it's pretty cool. I definitely encourage you, if there's any point where you get lost in the show, just watch this. It changes colors with the lights. It's pretty trippy.
I can push the button.
Listen to what we have to say too.
I'll push the button at the end. I'll show you the trip fest. It's fun.
So I'm Liz. This is Dave. You guys have heard our voices so many times, but now here are our faces and I hope you like what you see.
Hope you like what you see.
I don't know. Like sometimes you have expectations when you hear a podcast for so long. Yeah. You have an idea. You paint a picture of what they're gonna look like in your head.
I think these people are good-looking people.
Yeah. So hopefully I'm as cute as I always talk about. So today I'm so excited. We have somebody that we've spoken about on the show before, and we've asked him to come on. And he actually sent us Nicole last time, but now he's here. He is my mentor, my friend, our shaman. We would like to introduce you to Shaman Omar. Yay!
Hello, everybody.
Welcome, Omar.
Thanks for inviting me on the show. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. It's so good to have you. We've been wanting to have you on the show, I think, ever since we decided we were going to create the show. So it's nice to have you on. It feels like it's a good timing, especially with all the things that he and I have gone through. So we're really excited to have you here. Well, I guess we'll just start the joint. I'll just
usually we talk for like 5 or 10 minutes before we even begin the blessing or the smoking of the joint, because we're just so excited about the topic. But I think tonight we're just like,
I feel like I want to like really
torch it up.
Yeah, I feel like I just want to get the smoking first because I feel like Omar's got a lot of interesting things to say. I'm very curious. I have an amazing altar here, and I will definitely upload it. Yeah, a little mini. What you call it?
Break the glass in case of emergency altar.
Yes, in case of emergency altar. I should do that. I should make little altar kits, like emergency kits.
Please don't. We already have like a dozen altars in the house. There's so much energy, hon.
Well,
we don't need more.
I like all the energy. It's fun.
It's okay.
Okay. So before we do that, I actually want to clear the space with our Higher Consciousness bundle. A Meaningful Dreams Higher Consciousness bundle, which you can get on a Meaningful Dreams website, so meaningfuldream.com. These are bundles that were actually inspired by the show. They do have hemp leaves in it. And it's really to help you open up your higher consciousness, help open up your crown chakra, and just really help connect to divine, connect to your inner wisdom and any other messages, but also simultaneously cleanse your space at the same time. So
smells so good,
doesn't it? So you open up the space, and we call upon our ancestors and our spirit guides to be here with us today. I open up this space to the north in the element of air, to the west in the element of fire, to the south in the element of earth, to the east in the element of water, to above with the element of the sky, and to below with the element of earth, dirt, metal, Thank you for being here with us today as we create this space to talk about shamanism, and as we raise our perspectives, open our minds, and our higher consciousness.
So
Beautiful.
much
Give you
extra for the
little
shamanism
friends.
episode.
Well, we're gonna do this for every
No,
episode, I
I-
think. Yeah, he's like, yeah, represent.
Yeah. I love how you can
All
see
right.
my pajamas too in the shot.
Yeah, we're pretty chill today. I didn't get super cute for today because I was very tired. We had the big snowstorm today. I am always cute. So, all right. Omar, do you have any blessings or anything you would like to add to this joint, or are you just ready to go through?
No, I'm just ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right, ready? Today we're smoking sunshine. It's homegrown, by the way, right?
Well, it's marijuana called sunshine.
Yeah,
It's
marijuana.
not just sunshine in
We're
the
not
joint.
smoking sunshine in the joint,
If we
although
had
that would be amazing.
That'd be awesome.
That would be really cool.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah. Okay.
Future episode.
All right. So with this sunshine joint, bless you, Mary Jane, and thank you for being here with us today. May we have a wonderful show with Omar about shamanism. May the information that we share be clear and concise, and may what we have to offer be fun, silly, informative, eye-opening, and heart-opening. And we ask that with this show that we help open the hearts and the minds and the souls of others to see a little bit differently in whatever way fits and aligns within their truth. Thank you and amen. Yay.
All right.
So actually I've been doing a lot of the talking, so I'll let you, because you kind of mentioned that you don't feel as familiar with shamanism.
It's true.
So I think it would be appropriate for you to ask some of the questions that you may have about shamanism
Sure.
to Omar, so
Sure.
that way we can, and that way I can get this joint started. So
Yeah, absolutely. By
I
the way,
can start the joint.
yeah, well, because of course. By the way,
Oh my
before I do that, Liz is about to cough a lot, just so you know. So be prepared. Liz is gonna cough a lot.
All right.
It's just gonna happen. So just bear with us. But anyway,
Okay.
so Omar, shamanism. You are a shaman. You're an actual real life modern day shaman, correct?
Correct.
That
I
is
am.
awesome.
I'm proud to be one.
Yeah,
It was
that's
It's
good.
a long time. It's a long time coming. Oh man, it's lifetimes in the making, and obviously going to continue. But just in this lifetime alone, just coming to that realization was huge, because it didn't come overnight, and it was a process, and it's an ongoing process. So, but I am very humble, honored, and proud to be just that. And I kind of want to take advantage of this platform that you guys are offering here and really try to simplify some of it, because I think folks may not know a lot about shamanism, but they may have a particular definition that they picked up or read somewhere. And I kind of want to demystify it a little bit,
For sure.
simplify it a little. A shaman is a healer of, and for the community,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much. So there are a lot who call themselves shaman, but they're still doing shamanism. They're still doing some type of form of that when it comes to healing for the community, their surroundings, their families, they're honoring their ancestors. All that falls in line with that. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
I just like to keep things simple.
No, and I appreciate that, because you're considered like a modern shaman. You're not the shaman that, like, I think what a lot of people would typically think of.
Like
shaman,
an older person.
the older person
with, like,
living
all
out in
these
the
wrinkles.
mountains and all the wrinkles, and you're like out in some
Well-
third world country and.
Well, for the sake of clarity, I am old.
Come on now. Come on now. You ain't fooling nobody with that baby
Yeah,
face.
you're not old, Omar. You might be old in soul, but you don't look old. So,
Yeah.
but I mean that's a lot
Okay.
of.
But I'm old. But
You're not old. Just like old. But yeah, like it's
think that they're thinking more of the they're thinking more of the traditional,
Yes.
you know, the one that's kind of like, they wasn't necessarily living in the village, but was off to the side of the village, and you would go see him when you had issues and stuff like that.
Right.
But shamans were so much more than that. And when you add the modern day, for me, what that means is I've brought in some of the different principles and energies that you would find, like for instance, Carl Jung with the shadow self,
Yep.
pulling that in, because when I researched some of his work, I knew right away that he was a shaman.
Yeah.
But when you consider the era in which he was doing his thing, to call yourself a shaman, then he probably, you know, that scientific community that he was a part of, or whatever, would have shunned him, or would have, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
I wonder if
but
it
you
was
recognize.
culturally appropriate at the time for him, Carl Jung, like if he would have even felt like he could have, even if he wasn't around that science, if he was.
Well, when it comes, the thing is with shamanism is that it doesn't really belong to any one particular culture. It's worldwide,
Yeah.
you know. So it's one of those things that, I mean, it's. I think everybody agrees upon the fact that it's the oldest religion, or the oldest practicing type of religion. So no one really we can go as far as saying like a place of origin. A lot that I've seen is Siberia,
Yep.
which is fine, but it's spread worldwide. It's males, females, you know, they go under different names, but the practices are kind of all similar. So Joseph Campbell, I remember you and I were talking about that. Joseph Campbell, I believe he was another one. To me, he is the father of myths. You know, his work is great work with helping everyone understand meaning behind myths and tying it together. He like threaded all the different cultures and myths and found similarities in all of them. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And that's what the shaman that's what the shaman does. The shaman connects the dots, and in doing so, uses everything available. You know, everything is alive, everything has spirit, everything is energy, everything is moving, everything has a vibration, you know, everything has a life. And with that, then it comes down to a relationship with everything. And when you're doing that exchange of energy, you can get information from that. Plus you're accessing different realms, the astral world, you know, and just gathering information in the name of healing, for the sake of healing. Not just go and explore, or because you got a curiosity. No, it's because you know, and you're guided where to go to get these answers that are going to help heal yourself, your community, your client, whatever it is.
Man.
That's what the shamans do.
Well, speaking of healing, I think you just somehow healed Liz because she hasn't coughed once. Like, this is the first time in this is
and ever.
Yeah,
I
I can't even speak right now because I'm the one about to cough first. Ridiculous. It never happens. Anyway.
Well, to be quite honest, she's quite the psychic, because when you say she was gonna cough, she shook her head no, so she knew she was not gonna cough. She knew it.
Like, I'm not gonna cough. I'm really
she is like,
There you go, I guess. There you go, I guess.
There's been so many moments where I'm like, that's not gonna happen, and then it happens, and I'm like, get out of here. So I appreciate like what you had to say, and I love that how you also pulled in a couple other people that we wouldn't typically call shamans, but are kind of also modern day shamans as well. And I love
demystifying it a little.
Yeah, and demystifying a little bit too. And also the fact that you mentioned that it's something that's available and offered around all cultures, because from the world that I am in, the magic world, very much like what you are into, the shamanism is still fairly new for me since I've took classes from you. But one of the big cultural kind of beliefs, or one of the big kind of belief, is that in order to be a shaman, it's like more of like a Mexican or something where you have to really be connected to the culture. And not only that, I know you and I have discussed this, but I just wanted to discuss it again because I've heard a lot of it from the collective. The other parts about being a shaman too, that there's a stigma that if you aren't trained by a shaman who's been trained by like ancestors or whatever, then you're not a real shaman. But then we kind of lose the there's a little bit of that magic part of it where it's like, it doesn't always work that way. And I would love to hear, you know, your sight on that, because we know that it's for everybody, and it doesn't, I don't personally believe you don't have to be trained by a person like that to be a shaman. I think it's, when you put it in simple terms, it's a healer using the resources. But since you are one and you've been doing it for some time, just a little bit more of that on your perspective.
Sure. So, and this was something I was looking at today. I think everyone has a little bit of shaman in them, and it comes by the way of dreaming. If I had to find my type, or the main type of shamanism I do is dream shamanism. And since we all dream, we have that little part. That dream that stems kind of from your subconscious, and your subconscious is trying to work through issues, challenges, and different things that you have gone through during the day, and is trying to work through it at night by way of a dream, or for some folks, when it's really trying to a nightmare. That's shamanism in itself, because you're not here in this realm, in the third dimension. You're kind of somewhere else doing it, and that's what the shaman does. He goes somewhere else to retrieve information. So when you're sleeping, you're dreaming, that's what your subconscious is doing. It's trying to gather information from what happened today using symbols. Sometimes it's using colors, you know, names, faces, you name it. Everything that happens there has a meaning and a purpose behind it. Song, music, absolutely. And the difference being, like, when I first was doing this, I would go into an altered state. But what I noticed, and I've been doing this for going on now maybe 20 years.
Sorry.
What I noticed was the more I did it, the less I had to go into. What happened?
Sorry.
Our cats right now are just like
Okay.
the house.
Yeah.
Like, give us attention.
Yeah.
Where's the attention? Why are you looking at us?
And we're trying to listen to you, but also make sure that they're not, you know, doing things that they're not supposed to be doing.
Right.
Okay, go ahead. So I'm sorry. So talk about the dreaming. Can you take her? Can you just?
All right. No, you're fine. So because I've been doing it for like 20 years, what I noticed was that I didn't always have to go into that altered state to get information. The more I did it, the more I was able to access without having to be in that altered state. Like, I could have a conversation and right in front of that person access a different realm to gather information. So it's almost like dreaming while awake.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Because you know, when you're dreaming, there's no real restrictions when you're dreaming. Sometimes you could dream you're flying. Sometimes you're dreaming and you may be on fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or you're walking underwater, or whatever the case may be. There's no restrictions or limitations when you're dreaming, and that's kind of how it is with the dream shamanism that I do. You know, I don't feel restricted or limited to anything. There are certain principles that I have to follow. Mainly, like, for instance, like attracts like. That's a universal law that applies to all of us. So I go in that with that full understanding. Second is trusting the universe and what it's showing me, and what spirit is saying, and allow me to connect the dots and access the client's energy, even inside their home, their furniture, their pets, you know, pictures of relatives and friends, all that, you know. So for anyone listening, if they're interested in this, you kind of start with those principles. It's not a curiosity so much as it is a belief. The belief has to come first.
Yep.
And I know a lot of times we live in a society where people won't believe it unless they can see it, touch it, or whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. But this works in reverse. You have to have that belief and trust first, and then the doors fly open, and then you'll get to see, you know.
And I can say, like, this is a perfect segue into my experience with this stuff, because that's my problem. You know, I have a real hard time with you know, believing first so that I can see it. You know, I for whatever reason, I've been, you know, working through this heavy attachment that I have to seeing things in my environment, and that in turn sort of reinforces or supports my belief, you know. And it's interesting that you know, this is coming up because recently for me, I've been having everything that I've wanted to start happening. You know, like I've had lots of abundance, lots of jobs coming my way.
Boom, 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 boom.
You know, I didn't tell you this yet, but that job that you turned me on to, that book cover, I got that job. You know, so you know, I'm really feeling the support and the abundance from the universe because I asked. You know, like I asked lots of times many weeks ago. You know, I'm not seeing this. I'm struggling to see the support. You know, show me some support. And one of the other things too is, again, believing it, like truly feeling the energy of belief, because there's an energy behind that. You know, like you could just sit there and say like, oh, I believe this, but to sit there and hold the energy of what it visually feels and looks like to you in that manifestation, and bringing that energy to the fore and using that to really kind of energize, you know, what you're looking to manifest. That's the difference. Kind of like the you need the juice. You know, you can't just have the shell of it. You need something inside. You need that. I don't know how else to explain it. I just wanted to.
You would use a reason to say juice. Yes.
Whatever.
A reason to say juice. That's my nickname. If you weren't
Sue
aware.
Me. This is done.
Oh my goodness.
Joint concluded.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That was a good one.
But hey, I mean, you're right, and what comes side to side with that belief is the trust, because you believe that that the universe is going to have your back and give you what it is you want, but then you have to trust in the process, which also means the timing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we want it now, but the universe says no, hold up. And what is this big, but when the universe drops it on us, it ends up being this big.
Yeah.
So it's all about trusting that process and the timing of it behind it as well.
There was the time.
That's why I tell you, when you dream big.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right about that. About dreaming big, because there really is there's no limitations. You know, if there's no limitations in the dream world, then why wouldn't we dream big in the dream world? Especially if that's where the subconscious is working from. Yeah, it makes sense.
We were just watching that movie.
Yeah, we did just watch it. That's my favorite movie. Rewatch. Inception. Have you seen Inception before?
I have twice. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's on Netflix right now. It's a really, I love those kind of movies. I love those movies where you have to like really sit and think about what's happening, but then there's also like a deeper meaning, and there's also like, yeah, I love all the all like the depth and like the creativity that comes with that. It's funny that we're even talking about dreams, because that's been something that has been like a project of mine recently, has been my dreams. And actually
so much.
I know, I'm like waking up in the middle of the night. Some of my journals are like, or some of my writings is like, the writing's like, because it's just dark, I can't see, and I'm just trying to like figure out like what's happening.
Sleeping over here, like, this is what's going on.
No, it's really funny to look at, like just pages like that. But then there's days where there's like a whole page of me just like writing, and there's times where I'm like, oh my god, am I done writing this dream yet? Because
I gotta start my day.
I have to start my day. This is taking forever. And then there's days where there's like nothing. But one of the things that have been coming up for me, and it made me, well, first off, it made me remember the reason that I got into everything that I got into was because of my dreams. And I just recently made that connection, and making that connection was really profound for me, because it's in my name with my other business that I'm doing. It's something that really is important. We live, I think, in a dream. This is a form of a dream, but it's a much longer dream in my opinion.
Different kind of dream.
Yeah, different. I think this is a version of a dream.
Oh, yeah.
you know, in some kind of way. And
it's interesting to me because I think physicality is not as prevalent in the universe as just energy, right? Just this beings of just pure energy, no physicality whatsoever. And it's interesting, like we as a physical being would consider that the dream world, but in all actuality, that's probably more the real world, and this is more of a dream. Physical worlds are more of dreams to them.
Well, to the dream?
No, to like higher beings, like beings of just potential energy, you know. This is what higher consciousness is all about. It's just like blasting a new idea into the middle of the conversation.
But when you really look at what it is we're doing when we're dreaming, it's an altered state. So when we talk about a shaman and what a shaman go into different realms and communicate with the spirit world, he's going into an altered state. And that's why I was saying everybody does a little bit of the shamanism when they're dreaming. It's just that altered state. But when you first realize that and accept it, then you start to use it, not necessarily to your advantage, but use it as a tool for yourself, for your well-being, to elevate yourself. Then you almost look forward to going to sleep. You look forward to your next dream.
I do.
And you start going with the current. Right. You start going with the current as opposed to against the current. Right. Yeah. And even nightmares are very, very important, you know, because it's your subconscious talking to you. It's trying to break things down. You know, naturally our energy, everything is trying to get us into that homeostasis, you know, where we're balanced. Every single day, every moment, that's the aim. Whether you consciously are doing it or not, that's where we're going, in that direction. And when you don't believe in that process, that's when you run into those challenges and you feel like you're not getting anywhere. It's because you're going against the natural flow that your energy and your body is going in, right, in your spirit. But I want people listening to this episode to understand that you don't need a certificate, a license, a physical teacher, or anybody to use this. You don't, and this is not you don't pay. There's no money you have to put down or anything like that. This is energy, your energy, access, granted, because it is your energy, and you can use this to, you know, to help yourself, to help heal yourself. If you have loved ones that have passed, whether you knew them in this lifetime or not, if you want to make contact with them, if you want to have conversations, if you want to just be in their presence or get to know them or exchange energy, dreams is how you do it. It's the easiest way. Okay. Also, if you're having challenges just in life itself, there's nothing, again, doesn't cost you anything. You don't need any teacher. You can say an affirmation or a prayer before you go to sleep, knowing that in your dreams, you have that all access pass to make things happen. You don't, you know, there's no, I want to just put that out there for folks that, one, have a hard time going to sleep because the mind is racing, or two, people that can't go to sleep because they're just worried about this and worried about tomorrow, you know, or where fear is really set in and made itself home in your mind and in your energy. You know, you have an all access pass to get some of that turned around, where you can really start healing. When you really think about how much time we spend, or should be spending, at least asleep in bed and what have you. Some folks do that. Sometimes they wake up more tired than when they went to sleep. You know, set it up before you go to sleep. Talk to yourself, talk to your energy, talk to the universe. Say, hey, this is what I want to do during this night. This is where I want to go. This is who I want to meet. This is what I want to find out. Set it. It reminds you of Star Trek. Remember Star Trek? They would start out destination, you know what I'm saying? And they would talk. This is where we're going. They would talk to that shit. This is where we're going.
It's exactly like that. Oh, I love that reference.
That is a great analogy. I love that.
Like going light speed into
Captain Log.
Exactly. Set the log. Set the destination. Yeah, do it. I mean, it's free. That's the great thing. You know, you have some folks that'll take classes and trainings and seminars, and folks, you got it. It's all there. All you have to do is trust in it. Believe in it. Yeah.
And that's why I love higher consciousness, because I think it's just a constant reminder to people that, like, these things do live within you.
It's a constant reminder to me. What are you
Yeah,
talking
it's
about?
true. It's true.
Like I need this stuff just as much as everyone else. I think. I think we all do.
You know,
from
like
I think we all need a pick me up every once in a while, or at least a maybe not so much a pick me up, but more of a check in.
Yeah.
You know, and just remember, hey, like you're a multi-dimensional being, guy. Like calm down.
I love it. You were pointing. Why were you pointing at me?
Because you always go to bed like, all right, I'm ready. I'm up. Like you're reluctant to go to bed, but then you wake up like, oh my God, I need 45.
Because
I'm the opposite. Like when I go to bed,
I don't
I am
just
tired
wake
as hell.
up. Okay, Dave.
But then when I get up in the morning, I'm like, what? What are you doing?
Yeah, no.
What are you doing?
No. I need time. I need time, or else like I will be out of my body. Like I quite literally need about 45 minutes or like around then. Maybe sometimes less. It just depends on like my dreaming. Depends on how much I dreamed. If I dreamt a lot, it's gonna take longer for me to get out of bed because it takes that much longer for my body to get back, or my spirit to get back into my body. Because if I get up too fast, oh my God, Omar, I'm like, I can't vlog. Everything's like, I knock everything over.
Yikes.
I'm just like, I like don't speak in full sentences, and like my sight and my vision's like off and stuff.
I love how I will ask you two questions, you only answer one, but it's not even a question I asked you. Like an answer that could be an answer of the question I asked you.
I'm gonna tell him something completely different. I'm still in the dream world, like it's
coffee.
Yeah, it sounds like you do some deep traveling, like your spirit is off somewhere intergalactic, and in order to come back and be Liz again and have all the circuits reconnect, you need some time. That when you don't take the time to have them all reconnecting, you're going to be malfunctioning like a robot.
Yeah. Quite literally.
The circuits start crossing, it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite literally like what it is. Like I do remember at one point I was dreaming so much in my life that I wish I never said it, but I understood why. But it got to a point where I was dreaming so much that I didn't feel like I was sleeping, so I asked to stop dreaming. But now I'm like trying to get it back, but in a more balanced way. So before we go too much further into dreaming, which I love that, and thank you for sharing that information because that's super important and that's really good. Very helpful too. So I just want to hear, what do you say?
That's what we do here.
Yes.
We help people.
Dave is currently packing us up a second round of Mary Jane, of Sunshine Mary Jane here, because we need more sunshine in our lives, right?
We got a complaint. From, I think many people actually.
Including someone who might be here with us. I don't know.
We just didn't sound high enough. So
yeah,
we're like,
so
we gotta at least smoke twice
and,
see what happens. And, we just did the season finale for season 2. And we got stupid.
Yeah, we did.
By the end of it, I don't even know what we were talking about or what was happening, but
we were in space at that point, like far off in space, like where Pluto is or whatever.
I was just listen because I was just having this conversation with Nicole last night. I said, you guys have been posting things, and I said, I know they smoke weed, but the Mary Jane is like they have Mary Jane cereal, Mary Jane pasta. I said, they're eating it, they're smoking it. They're what? How high are they getting over there?
Well, not that
high. A lot of those are for photo shoots, but I mean, we would like to have weed meals and things like that into the future. That would definitely. Oh my God. Nice. Cool. That would be fun to incorporate the art of the art of different kind of foods and marijuana and whatnot. Oh my gosh, yes. So
don't you love it on video now?
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
You've had this little I think it's just a reflection of your laptop, but it looks like a little orb has been flying around you.
It's probably just a reflection
during the video. I think it's just a reflection, but I like to think it's an orb too. a computer orb.
Could be both.
Yeah, exactly. Could be both. So tell us more about how you became a shaman and how the calling came to you.
Yes, your story, Omar.
We would like to hear your story because we found that a lot of people really enjoy hearing other people's stories about how they got to where they are. So we would love to hear, you know, a little bit about how you got there and how you got here.
Okay. Okay. Well. Okay. So I come from, I would say, my dad's side of the family. Anyway, my grandmother was psychic. She read coffee grinds, and my dad was an astrologer entire career for decades. Very good at both. Very advanced. Like, he was heavy into the occult as well. On my mother's side, eventually she was Christian off and on, but then in the later years became a Christian counselor, had a degree in Christian counseling. So her faith was heavy and anchored in Christianity, and being able to apply it in helping women mainly. I mean, she wanted to start a ministry. Unfortunately, cancer put in, but that was her main goal, was to start a ministry and help. So she helped abused women, you know, drug addicts and things of that sort. And my dad was doing the same thing because he went through a life where he was doing that. But anyway, that's I'm a mix of both. But my journey starts with clairvoyance. I believe clairvoyance and empathy, and the empathic gift. Those two I came into this incarnation with. So those were lifetimes in the making. But those are the two strong, because I remember at a young age seeing things and hearing things. You know, I recall at the age of 6 or 7, hearing a grown man call mom outside my bedroom window, like at the crack of dawn every single day. Um, the guy that I saw running across my bathroom wall, he was only about 2 or 3 inches tall, you know. But in my childhood, growing up, my dad, like, he'll have conversations. I would hear him having conversations with spirits, you know. So it was like normal. Like, oh, he's talking to a spirit again.
You knew that as a child, right? That he was talking to a spirit?
Yeah. Yeah, my dad was very open about that. It wasn't one of those things, you know, I know some folks who grow up and they may see things, but they know not to say it, because then they'll get chastised, or their family will tell them it's just your imagination. It wasn't like that in my household with my dad, because he obviously, well, my grandmother he grew up in that too, so I grew up in it too. It was like natural for that to be going on. But then those particular two gifts stayed with me, and kind of started developing them, but using them more so for me. And then for a while, they all went to the back burner as I got more into just being a normal teen, interested in girls, you know, doing things I had no business doing, stuff like that. But a near-death experience brought it all back to me in a rush. I almost died on a motorcycle. I crashed on a motorcycle, and a voice told me, "Get up before the car runs you over." And then that voice turned into several voices, and then before you know it, that's when the gifts started rushing back. And again, I was like, cool, I got these gifts, and I just used them for myself, for entertainment, for whatever. And it wasn't until someone approached me in the chat room and asked me to help him communicate with his brother that had committed suicide. And once I did that, afterwards, I had that feeling, you know, like the universe, spirit was telling me, this is what the gifts are for. They're not for entertainment. They're not for you to use it for yourself. They're to help people, heal, help people out there that, you know, have challenges and things like that. So once I committed to doing that part, because it's still, even after spirit told me that, I was still going left and right with it. And it wasn't until I decided to go ahead and commit to that spirit then started testing them even further. I recall my hearing being tested, and this is what it was like. Is you took a choir, not a choir, but like what do they call them? A band, but a band that an orchestra is what they call it. Every single instrument that you can think of is in this orchestra, and all at the same time they hit the exact same note. That's how they tested my hearing. It was angelic. It was heavenly. I've never heard anything like it before or after. It was just that one time. You know how when you were younger, they put that thing in your ear and you're supposed to like raise your hand, you hear like a ding, or
Yeah.
it kind of felt like, yeah, it was kind of like a test like that. However, every single instrument, yeah, that you can think of was present. All those instruments hit the same note at the same time. But anyways, and then obviously the clairvoyance I already had. The empathic I struggled with because of the abuse that I suffered within my childhood. I had to, and I still do at times, but I kind of got a grip on it now. But the key is to not abuse. You can feel another person's emotions, whether the person's in front of you or off of a picture or off of the furniture, or even, you know, the feelings have you, that all that. But what happens sometimes where folks don't have a handle on it, absorb it, and next thing you know, you have those feelings for the rest of the day or for a couple of days. So it's a matter of fine tuning it, and the best way to do that is to get grounded. So what was happening once I committed was I was being taught through my dreams. So this is coming full circle now because we were talking about dreams earlier. And my ancestors would use, for instance, there was a woman that I worked with at the time in retail, and she was our HR person. So that's who appeared in my dream. I was on these I was like in a cathedral, and it had several stories, and I was up sweeping the stairs, you know, it's elevation, initiation.
Hold on.
Sorry, hold on.
That might be, instead
Jesus.
of kitty interruptions, we might
That
have
actually was right on cue.
caller interruptions. What'd you say?
I said that was right on cue, whoever that was. So that's awesome. So
presenting the next part. My guides are buried like in your face. I don't know what time it is actually.
Yeah, I know.
We're almost over.
It's 7:53.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
So anyway, the universe actually used her in my dream, and she approached me in my dream while I was sweeping the step that I was on, and she told me to come with her. So that's HR. HR is in charge of training. So I went with her, and she brought me over to a landing on the stairway, and there was a face, a huge face. It looked like a hologram, but it was of like a male entity who was there but not there. And what he was teaching me and talking to me about was time, and how time is not measured linear, but that time happens in cycles. Not only that, but it's all happening right now. You can access past, future, now, in the present moment. It's all tied together. So it was lessons like that. That's one of the beginning lessons that I had. But I had several lessons from my ancestors in my dream to that. So it wasn't until I did at least, I want to say 3 of what I call a dream state, where I go into an altered state to get information for someone that I'm trying to help, that the success that I was having with it and the accuracy of it, maybe dig a little deeper and find out, well, what exactly am I doing here? Like, what exactly is this? Since I have this gift, and now to get accurate information by traveling over there and this and that. And when I saw that shamanism covered all of it, that's where I realized, okay, this is where I'm coming from. Meaning that they're not necessarily teaching me. What they're doing is helping me remember what I have been doing in other lifetimes. And there's a difference. Because once you realize, hey, I've done this before, a lot of the nervousness a lot of the fear, because there's some fear in there too, disappears. I wouldn't say it disappears, but it changes. It changes into a passion. It changes more into a familiarity, you know. And once you're there, it's like if you're gonna go visit someone that you've never seen before versus going back home to visit family, you're gonna feel more comfortable visiting family.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Because a part of you is still there, even though you're not physically. Part of you is still there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how it felt once I realized, okay, this falls under shamanism. All these gifts, the empath, the clairvoyance, the audio, being able to hear, the traveling, the accessing the different realms, you know, and getting validation. You want to go like into another realm and seeing the older woman that's sitting there. And I've said this to you before, like this woman talks to me and I do not speak her language, but I understand everything she says. And off in the distance, I see forms standing on little mounds. Like it's a human form, but I can't see they're black. They're just standing. I would say about 6 or 7 of them on different mounds. And once or twice, she's called for one of them to come down. And when they come down, then I see who they are. And they have a purpose. So they're standing there and for a reason. They're not just standing there watching me. They're standing there for a reason. And depending on what type of healing or where I am with my initiations and my training, she'll call them and they'll come down. And then it makes sense as to what they're there for and what they're going to help me with. So it's like a team, but she's the main player that I've been seeing for quite some time. But again, the more I did it, the less I had to go into the altered state. Like now, like for instance, last night when I went to the client's house, I don't have to go into an altered state. I can just staying there in the house and start feeling the energies in itself and access it and see what entities, what spirits, what ghosts, what residual. I can feel all that of what's in the house and where exactly it's at. And then spirit to help me with what's needed to have them either move on or removed or healed, whatever the case may be. So that's how I came about into it. But again, anyone, it's to me, it's not like a specialized practice or anything like that. Again, to keep it simple, we're all doing a little bit of it. If you're dreaming, that's part of shamanism. So you're doing it right then and there. And if you want to take it further, it's your energy. You have a soul group, a soul family, you have ancestors, everybody does. You can do that. It's up to you. But like I said, it takes commitment before it goes a little further because I was playing around with it. I was playing around with it. But once I committed and once I trusted in the process, then I went further and further and further. It's like anything. It's like even, let's use the analogy of an athlete. You have some athletes that take it to the next level, but they're so invested in practice. They're so invested in discipline. They're so invested in, you know, taking care of their bodies and doing the right thing versus the other guy that he's playing, and then he's taking his money, he's at the club, and he's in,
Right.
and they both are playing, but there's one is taking a lot further and it's going to be more successful for that very fact. So
That's so true. Oh my goodness. So that's so smoke break.
So true. I know. I love how I like chose to smoke right when you were done. Like I could have like smoked that whole time. I was just intently listening, and then you were winding down, and I was like, "Oh, you know, I should have a smoke. That's a good idea." And you were done talking, and I was like, "Oh, that is an inopportune time to take a toke, you dumbass."
Oh, don't say that. It's a part of the show.
I know, Michael.
Yeah,
Michael.
be nice.
Be nice to
My
myself.
goodness. My goodness. Yes. It's just think Omar is not used to this side of us. He hasn't seen this side of us too much yet. So this is all new for him as well. So
Well, it's funny, like I was just thinking that you know, for me, I do this small video series on my own YouTube channel called Dose of Dave, and I haven't done it in a couple of weeks because I've been working diligently on this crowdfunder for my new comic book. And getting back into doing video again, it's one of those things where I feel like I have jeez. Oh, we've done that too many times where
It's this
my
bong.
hand
I'm
movements
telling you,
is
it's this
smash
bong.
bongs.
There's not. No, I think that bong. Honestly, here's my honest opinion. I think that bong needs to be. Don't. Here we go, because it's gonna benefit you too. I think that bong needs healing
Okay.
because
All right.
part of it, the original part broke, and we had to replace it with something else.
Okay.
And ever since then, we've been almost knocking it over.
Fair enough.
All the time.
Fair
It's
enough.
been like a consistent enough thing that like both of us have been. So I think we need to just do like a blessing or something with it.
Sure. And we can do that. And we should do that. We'll put it on the list. I don't know. I don't have a list.
We'll do it after the show. How about that?
Okay, sounds good. I don't know what I was talking about. But anyway, we've got maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes left or something like that. Do you have any additional questions? Or I don't know if Omar has any other things that he would like to share. So far what you have shared is fantastic. Like, I hope that everyone that is listening just takes diligent notes so that they can really understand everything that Omar's just downloaded into your ear holes, because that's a lot of really good, useful stuff.
It really is. So I guess
Sure. Well, let me
go ahead. No.
share my my contact information, how you can get a hold of me. So Omar Yeldell is my name. That's Yeldell. If you Google that, you'll find some of this already. But my phone number is 727-244-0650. My website is Desate Spiritual Consultations. That's DESATE, which is a combo word that I put together on a poem that I wrote. That's destiny and fate. That's the word Desate. The two come together. Okay. And I do mentoring via Zoom as well. I have a mentoring program, which is also on my website. I have quite a bit. I will have some more lecture series coming around this year. So if you're interested in that, definitely take a look at my website, or you can email me at desateconsultations@gmail.com. And I will put you on my email list and blast you with info and updates of any kind of Zoom lectures or in-person lectures that I'll be doing. I also do home cleansings. The fee for that, the service fee for that varies depending, obviously it's not as much for an apartment as it is for a home or a home that has some land, but that's all can be negotiated. So definitely attachments, if you have that, thought specializing that as well, get a hold of me. Even if you have questions or whatever, just get a hold of me. I'm approachable. I'm not one of those that, you call me and you won't hear from me for like a couple weeks. No, I'll get right back to you. I prefer email, but definitely call me, leave me a voicemail if I don't pick up, and I will get back to you.
Yeah,
that's great.
And I will have to say, I'll be an advocate for Omar. I took his mentorship for shamanism earlier last year in the summertime, right? Yeah, it was in the summertime. Yeah. And I have definitely grown a lot and learned a lot since then. I've definitely have begun my entry into the shamanism world. I think maybe not begun my entry, but I would say remember the entry. So he's been a great teacher. He's been really helpful. He actually was there when we had our car accident that we discussed earlier in last season and everything too. So he has been a really great person of just learning and knowledge, and a great friend too. So definitely check him out.
Absolutely.
We're really happy to add you. Yeah, of course, add you on the show. I guess I would have one last question before we go. So do you have any last thing that you want to say as a shaman or about shamanism to the collective? Like, this is your last message to the collective. To be dramatic about it, I know.
It's such a list.
Because I'm really looking for the meaning, like the depth and the meaning, and I like to, because this is where I feel like where people's hearts come out, and I like to see that. So
fair enough.
do you have anything for them?
Like parting words. Yeah. So
Yeah,
what
parting words.
this is what I want to say to the collective, to everyone, is that we're living in a special time right now, and change is afoot, and change is probably is the one constant in life. And I've come across quite a few people that want to uh, impact the world, change the world, or be part of it. And like when we started this session tonight, what I mentioned was I like to keep things simple. So if that is your aim, I encourage you to continue, but don't lose sight of yourself. Because as you change yourself and you heal yourself, you indeed are changing the world and healing the world. It starts with you. And in order to heal yourself properly, there's certain basics that I think some people overlook. Hydration, rest, um, choice, thought patterns, the old ones, get rid of them, put in some new ones, positive living, positive lifestyle. And again, these things don't cost money. It's just a matter of you making the proper decisions, saying to yourself, loving yourself enough to say, that's where the change is going to start. It doesn't have to stop there. You can go ahead, because you'll be that change, become that change. Don't always look for it and start internal, and then you'll see. You can walk into a room and your energy that you're walking in there with starts to change people around. They'll turn around and look at you with a smile.
Yep.
To me, smiles are miracles. When people say they haven't seen miracles, I said, well, you haven't seen someone smile in a while? You should be smiling. Go look at yourself in the mirror and smile. Find something to smile
Yeah.
about. You see? Yeah. Keep it simple. Start there, and the world will open up. Not just this world, but the spirit world as well. And you'll have your people from your soul group, your ancestors come join you, because your aura will be different. When that color changes and that light changes, that frequency changes, that vibration changes, here they come. Here they come. And then you're off to the races. But
Yep.
start there. Start with that internal, start with that work there, and everything will fall into place and it'll be beautiful. And it'll be plenty of sunshine.
Yes. Plenty of
Yes,
sunshine.
Plenty.
So much sunshine, you won't even know what to do with it.
Oh,
Right.
man.
Oh, I love how you brought that back to it.
That
That
was
was great.
That was well said.
Yeah, very well said.
For
Very
sure.
beautiful message, and that's something that we here in Higher Consciousness try to advocate, is that all of this power is within us. So thank you for
Absolutely.
speaking that and speaking about your journey, and being willing to come on and see and experience this other part of us. I hope you had a fun journey.
Yeah, it was fun.
Good.
Yeah.
So you can
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. We
Yes,
appreciate
thank you,
it. We
Omar.
really do. So you can definitely catch us if you want to see us more on Instagram or Facebook. You can find all of those links on our website at higher-consciousness-talk.com.
Nailed it.
Yeah. And just go there, because all of the different names for Instagram and Facebook are different, because the internet
It's just the nice
just
hub for
still haven't
everything.
fixed the hashtags and the lines and the dots and whatever.
Stupid internet.
But, it's fine. No, I don't want to call it stupid. I'm just saying the
I know.
internet just fixed this thing so we can keep it all consistent. Okay. It makes it easier in my mind, because my mind's already about everything all the time.
No.
So thank you thank you so much. You can definitely, of course, too, we're going to link all of this, because this is on video now, right?
Okay.
We're not just on podcast. So we're
It's on
going to
video.
link all of the information down below. And so don't forget to hit subscribe and like as well. Because we're
Let's do
doing this YouTube thing now, right?
I'm just anticipating. I want to hit this button for the strobe, because we were talking about we've got this ring light right now, and it's like a soft fade transition of color, which is nice. But
You're
it
gonna
also
do it
gives
right
you
now?
the tech. Well, we're ending the show, so I mean.
Okay, well,
did not
you
wanna,
should probably warn Omar
Yeah,
then,
that's-
because it's a little,
I'm in the midst.
it's a little abrasive.
Omar.
No, go ahead. Hit it.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay.
Hit it.
He's like, hit it, let's go.
Wait, no, that's the wrong one. Wrong button. Technical difficulties. Whoa, what happened? There it is. Wait. Hold on.
There it is.
No, it's not.
Wah, wah.
Why is it not going?
Because we're too high.
Yeah, it doesn't want to
let me
go. Here, you can try. Go for it.
Let's see.
I love how it's like I
Flash.
was just trying my best
Flash
to do it.
strobe.
I wonder if I have to like you have to turn it up.
I'm just gonna keep
Turn
hitting
up the
buttons
button.
until it does it.
Oh my god.
Well, that is exactly what I was doing. So
But you weren't doing it fast enough.
Gotta love it. Omar's like, yeah, this is Dave and Liz right here. This is after.
No, it's not working.
Because I had to
Work.
set
There
it
it
up.
goes. There it goes. There it goes.
I knew what to do.
There you go. There you go.
I was just watching you like press all these buttons all over the place.
How I
was
play
like,
video
hit the
games
thing,
if I
hit the
ever
thing.
do it. Just hit all the
So
buttons.
yeah, strobe.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Yeah, that's
All
right.
Thank you, Omar, for being here.
Oh
Uh,
my
You're
gosh.
welcome.
I'll turn it down so it's not like giving people
I'll
seizures.
turn it down.
All right, there we go.
All right.
So thank you so
And-
much. And
How do you?
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. See you guys next time.
All right.
Bye. Don't hang up, Omar.
Yeah,
We'll
don't
see you
hang
guys next
Oh,
time.
okay.
Bye. Listen to more Higher Consciousness every Thursday on Spotify at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.